our guests for years have called us and said, "Hey, I'm looking at this used vehicle. Can you take a peek at it for us?"
Right.
And we'll do the walk around and look for evidence. And
we're looking specifically for evidence of prior accidents and poor repair.
Yeah.
Right. Hello, everybody, and welcome again to the Airing of Grievances. Very nice to have you along here on a Saturday morning. We hope that the Saturday morning is going well for you. I'm Eric Reamer. This is Robert Grieve. And Rob, today we've got a special story, but before we do, happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday to you.
Absolutely. So if you're new here and this is your first time, welcome. We're super glad that you're here. Give us a thumbs up if you would, please. That helps the YouTube algorithm let other people know that this is going on. And if you're an old timer, one of the family, we appreciate you for coming back every single time.
Much.
And of course, every week, Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. in the Mountain Standard Time, you can actually watch the premiere of this and every other video that we do and chat with us live. And we love the interaction when our viewers get to chat with us.
Lots of fun.
Absolutely. If you've got a comment or a question, we'd love it if you put it in the comment section below, and we will get back to you, we promise. Here we go. We've got a story that is an ongoing story, much bigger than the one element that we're going to share today.
It's got a lot of arms and legs.
It really does.
A lot of
so
arms and legs.
Let's let you set the stage for where we're going today.
Well, we're talking about used cars.
Used cars. Okay.
They're at an all-time high value, high demand, and buyer beware. Buyer beware. There's so much going on. I mean, the market is crazy with cars getting stolen, cars going to auction after they're totaled and getting bought by a rebuilder that brings it back to the shop and puts a little lipstick on it.
We did a video.
Sells it for all the money.
Yeah, we did a video on that. I'll put a link right up here for that story.
The horrific, unsafe repairs that are going out there just after a car just gets wrecked. Now we're finding that these cars are getting fixed after they're totaled and maybe brought back into retail, and it's a mess out there, and we just really have to caution you on where you go to find there's no cheap used cars, and if there is, there's a reason.
Yeah, there is a reason. You have to put more thought into the purchase of a used vehicle today than you've ever had to before.
Yeah.
In large part because they're at inflated rates. That because
very
of the pandemic, right? And the parts shortages.
All of that, labor shortages, everything.
Yeah.
Chip shortages.
Right. So in today's video, we're going to talk about another video that came out recently here in the Denver market.
Yeah, and this is an interesting story. It's interesting for me because we were involved in this story.
Okay.
Although they don't mention us in the thing. We did an inspection on this vehicle, and when the attorney called us, they said, "You get a tow truck. This car is totally unsafe to be driving."
Okay.
Totally unsafe. The subframe that holds the engine and transmission and suspension up was missing bolts because the frame was bent so bad that the bolt wouldn't go up into the hole. I mean, it was just a total mess, and should somebody have had another accident in that vehicle, it could have been a critical situation.
And this was no inexpensive vehicle to start with.
No.
Yeah.
And we have a gentleman that we're working with, Matt Osborne, who's a consumer advocate attorney.
Yeah.
And you'll hear him in this story also. So we have a relationship with the attorney. We have a relationship because we looked at the vehicle. So we've got our fingers all over this thing, and we've talked in other videos about buying used cars, and the cars are, once a car is totaled, it goes to the salvage lot, gets sold. The prices are getting brought way up at the salvage yards at the auction, because rebuilders are buying them, bringing them back to the shop, rebuilding them, selling them all for all the money.
Right.
But they're not fixing them nowhere near correctly. So we need to really put that thought in your head to be careful where you purchase a used car from. But why don't we take a look at the video?
Yep.
And then we can just chat about it a few minutes after that.
All right, here it is.
Let's go.
Has been inundated with complaints about Carvana since our report on the car dealer last week. One story in particular we knew we had to share, and here to do that is Contact Denver 7's Jacqueline Allen.
I bought our car from Carvana.
Maybe you saw Carvana's Super Bowl commercial Sunday. Dennis Atencio certainly did.
I don't want anyone to experience this.
He wanted a hassle-free car buying experience.
At first, I thought it was the most enjoyable car buying experience that I had.
But 7 months after he bought it, a repo truck showed up in his driveway.
Just the humiliation has been.
A repo truck showed up in his driveway, and that car is being towed away.
His car.
The car that he bought.
Yeah. It's hard. It's just incredible how all over the place this story is, because the vehicle was stolen in another state, and I think it landed up in California where Carvana had purchased it. Pretty sure that's where they got it, and then they sold it here. So this title's been around the world, and there's been several of them. Somewhere, and it used to be a Hertz vehicle, so people used to rent this vehicle. Somewhere along the line it got damaged severely, which generally if it's inside of a fleet of a rental car company, and it gets that much damage, it's total. Yeah, it goes to the boneyard, and they write it off. Somehow or another, now maybe after it was stolen it got in a wreck and was fixed at that point. Regardless, this guy not only bought a vehicle that was wrecked and just horribly repaired, but it was stolen also, and the title still said it was stolen in that other state, and they came and took it from him, even though he purchased it from somebody if you can advertise on the Super Bowl commercials, you would think that it would be a reliable outfit.
You certainly would.
But you said you've uncovered lots of...
There are stories all across the U.S. with this particular brand of dealership that are in question. They've been shut down by state governments certainly in North Carolina, and there are possibly others. It is... It's an ugly story.
Yeah.
It really is. Buyer beware.
And I got to tell you, for as big an operation as that is, these things should not fall through the cracks. This shouldn't be able to happen.
Agreed.
And which is why they're getting sued. So let's go back here.
And extremely painful.
Police reports show the car had been stolen in Memphis 7 months before Dennis bought it.
This was a stolen vehicle?
Yeah, so this was a Hertz rental car. It was at the airport in Memphis, and it was stolen in Memphis. So there's multiple open titles on this car.
Okay.
Can you believe...
Multiple open titles.
Yep. Multiple open titles.
Damage.
So what are you buying?
And how are they selling it? That's the greater question behind the story is how in the world did this big company not do their due diligence and whatnot?
Yeah.
Which is why Mr. Osborne is involved.
Yeah. And this is a guy you want on your side.
Yeah.
You don't want to be going against him. And we'll talk about how he's going to get this thing settled. But
okay.
Let's just keep going. You just saw those horrific repairs that were done. It's criminal.
Consumer protection attorney Matt Osborne says after Dennis got the car back, he found out Carvana not only sold him a stolen car.
No, this thing's a death trap.
The car had prior damage he says happened before Carvana sold it.
My theory of the case is they discovered this during the inspection, and they decided, well, we'll just sell it anyways without disclosing it.
This vehicle condition report details wrinkled sheet metal, missing bolts, and a clearly bent radiator, stating the car is a total loss with previous crash damage that has been poorly repaired.
You can't run it through an inspection and not notice these problems.
Nora Schlieder owns SOS Inspections and wrote that report.
It was unsafe to drive, critical.
But Carvana promises a 150-point inspection.
So Carvana offers doesn't offer, they do, or they say they do, 150-something point inspection.
That should make you feel great, right?
It should give you a lot of comfort. I don't know how you could have missed the stuff that we came across and that SOS inspector came across. The SOS inspector is more on the mechanical side of things,
Sure.
looking for stuff, but he still has, an eye for there's something else going on here. That's why it landed up here for us to do a deep dive as to, the extent of the damage. And it had to be towed here and towed away.
Hopefully away for good.
Well, litigation's going on. I'm not sure how this thing is going to end up. I feel pretty good for the guest, but
Sure.
But you do 150. Look, they're policing themselves, and this is the one thing I want to bring to the table is if you buy a certified pre-owned vehicle from a manufacturer's dealership called a Lexus. Go to a Lexus dealer. They're the only ones that can offer you to purchase a certified pre-owned vehicle. And you get all sorts of stuff along with that. Warranties and peace of mind and all the rest of that.
Right.
But you have the manufacturer backing it up. You have the dealership backing it up. That's a much better way to go.
Yeah.
Than
a vending machine?
Yeah. Because if for some reason something slipped through a dealer and was caught on maybe our side of things,
Yeah.
and it should have been found, the manufacturer is going to make that dealer.
They're going to step up.
Yeah, do the right thing. So if you can get with a dealer and buy a certified pre-owned vehicle, because there's certain years that certain year time frames, 3 years or less.
All right, so you're using a phrase, certified pre-owned vehicle, and you're associating that with the OEMs and the dealerships.
Yeah.
Let's make this point. This 150-point inspection that Carvana is offering,
Right. Who
or
polices that?
says that they do, and now we just saw the horrific images of bent
Death
sheet
trap.
metal and whatnot. Whatever verbiage they're using to equate to certified pre-owned.
Yeah, but that's not a certified pre-owned.
No, it is not.
And maybe they claim they do this 150-something point inspection.
Yeah, we certify it. Well, so?
Yeah, who's backing it?
Apparently
Who's
no
backing
one.
it? Let's keep going.
They've not responded to Contact Denver 7 about these allegations, but we found Carvana has faced fines and license suspensions in several states. The Better Business Bureau has thousands of complaints. Colorado regulators have also had complaints, but tell us if a company's based out of state, they don't have jurisdiction.
You're in the wild, wild west if you buy a car from Carvana.
We're in the wild, wild west. So, I don't believe they can sue Carvana here because Carvana's not domiciled here.
Right.
And
But
there's an arbitration clause.
There's an arbitration issue. Yes.
There's an arbitration clause, and they're going to be going through arbitration, which I'm fairly certain there's not going to be too big an issue.
I don't think so. The evidence mounts.
Yeah, and it's hard to. I mean, if you've got problems all over the map, the way they apparently do, then that just. I don't want you to get in this position. That's why we're doing this today. So let's just finish this up.
This is a messed up car.
Dennis can't safely drive this car, so he bought an identical car from another dealer while he takes Carvana into arbitration next month. What should Carvana do to make this right?
Stop selling junk cars.
For Contact Denver 7, I'm Jacqueline Allen.
All right, so he says they want him to stop selling junk cars. That's only one of the problems.
He's a good man, and he's being very generous in suggesting that's all he wants, because he's been done wrong.
Mm-hmm. I also want to thank Channel 7 for even running the story.
Yeah.
That was, they generally don't like to run those sort of things, because then advertisers say, well, we're not going to advertise with your station ever again,
right,
and blah,
right.
blah, 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 blah. And so, thank you for running that story. It's an important story. I don't know if enough people have been reached with it, but I wanted to share it here, especially seeing we are so close to it.
Well, and again, shout out to the denverchannel.com and Channel 7 ABC News, which is a local ABC affiliate here. You can help with this. Right now, if you would, just go up and copy the link. There's a share button on the YouTube app. Copy the link to this video and go right now. We'll be here when you come back, and paste that into your Facebook or your Twitter or your whatever social media that you're using, and share this with your friends and family. And we ask that every week, and we know that that's asking a lot, to take the time to copy that link and to paste it. This is really important, and it's relevant to anyone that you know who may or may not be in the market for a used vehicle in the coming years.
Yeah.
So please, do us a large if you would, please. Copy the link and paste it into your social medias. And then come on back here. We're here.
So, just in wrapping up, our guests for years have called us and said, "Hey, I'm looking at this used vehicle. Can you take a peek at it for us?"
Right.
And we'll do the walk around and look for evidence, and
we're looking specifically for evidence of prior accidents and poor repair.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's what our
We don't do the
thing is.
mechanical side of things.
Not really, unless we see something out of sorts.
Sure.
But whether it's us or SOS or somebody, if you're buying a used car and you're not buying it from a dealer as a certified pre-owned, or even a reputable dealer like AAA, AAA has dealers across the nation, and I happen to have a very close friend at AAA Auto Source.
We've got a link to the video right up here that we put out talking about our
Steve
friend
is amazing. The cars that they sell are pristine vehicles that they are proud to sell, and they are thorough.
You and I have both bought several cars from that.
Every single car I've bought since I've come to Colorado has been through them. Incredibly reputable, on top of things. AAA has a warranty. You want to buy it, they put it on there, and you're buying peace of mind by going to AAA or going to the dealer and buying a certified pre-owned.
Yeah.
Because that way it's gone through the check. It comes with an extended warranty. It comes with peace of mind and somebody to go and talk to if there's a problem. So this is kind of an epidemic type of situation we're in today, and I just wanted to warn folks about it. Offer the assistance if you have questions. You can always call us. And
here's the phone number for that. You can call us directly here at Nylund's Collision Center. And let me tell you, integrity has an address, right? We'd like to believe that we're part of that process. So give us a ring, or reach out to us in the comments below, or like I said, share the video and let your friends and family know. It's an important topic.
happy Saturday to you.
To you.
My dear friends, happy Saturday to you. Have an amazing week.